Hello, friends. Welcome to episode 11 of Zithol's Let's Learn series on the All the Mods 3 mod pack, blah, blah, blah. It's been a while. On today's episode, we're moving our new base and we are getting into power. All the power in the world. So as I prepare to say goodbye to our little base, I've been playing around with moving crates, and I got that working, so we're going to see that. But there's one little thing that I found as I was looking for a new spot to put the base. And when I go into here and I look up something like andesite, so when I look at this and see what this is useful for, we can see in one of the crafting recipes right here, we get something called spolothium. I think that's right. Uh, and this kind of simulates what we've been going with on here. I found these things hanging down in some of the caves that I was exploring. And if we go into here, let's get some andesite or something similar. Granite works also. We'll get a few of those. And when we go and craft those down, we get granite spolothium. So there's a bunch of different materials that you can have it. And you'll see that when we put it down, this is really neat. So the first one you put down is slightly bigger, maybe the same size as a wall. But as you put stuff underneath it, it gets progressively smaller and smaller. And so this is something that you can use to decorate the inside of your cave system. So I love how that looks. Anyways, today is moving day. We're really excited. So I've looked on our journey map for a new place to live. And if I can go to the day side, there we are. You can see our little base is here. We have our farm area, the little path, and our base along here. And where I've been looking at, and you can hear my cat in the background, very excited that we are going to be moving to a new place. I like this area. It's a nice big flat open area. Yeah, no, I like it too. He's very excited. And there's a nice area we can put. There's also a slime island here, which is really interesting. So we're going to have slimes going crazy. There's a little bit of astral sorcery stuff here. If we look here, we'll see a little, I think that's a cavern. Although I don't know if you can see my mouse, but there's nice stuff. Anyways, we'll go check out the area. But before we get there, we do want to have the ability to make sure we still have ore duplication. That's one of the most important things to get up. Now, I could disassemble our smeltery and bring it with me, but instead, maybe it's time to start getting into a little machinery. And so I did some exploration into the pack to find out what is in there, and there's various types of machines that will do this. Actually, Additions has a crusher, which will double your ores. Extra Utilities 2 has one. There's a furnace generator for generating power, because we're going to need to generate power. But the most important thing I was thinking of was how to maintain our alloy smelting, because that's really what that's useful for. And so for that, we're going to go with Ender IO. And to get started in that, we're going to need a few things. So let me get settled in, and we're going to get started in Ender IO. Okay, we're going to take a quick trip into our mining dimension, and the only thing we really need to get started in Ender IO. So the machines that we're looking at, kind of a simple powered furnace. This is going to take in items and produce energy. Our alloy smelter is what mixes things together, and we should have a sag mill, which does a lot of our crushing and ore doubling. So there's some stuff that we're going to be playing with here. So we're going to play with that. You hear a zombie is really upset with our plans for moving. He's very sad that we're leaving him, but we have to do what we have to do. Anyways, to get started, what you need to do for Ender IO is to create a Minecraft flint and steel. That's the only thing we need. So let's head into the Minecraft dimension, and what we're going to do is, if we look at the recipes, let's pick the simple powered furnace, we're going to see the main block in each thing is a simple machine chassis. And for each of those, when you go into it, the central ingredient is something called Grains of Infinity. And when you click on the information panel up here, a lot of times in mods, they'll give you a little information panel. It says high quality enclosed tool. Oh, I meant to go here. Oh, and they didn't do it. But you can see when you go in here, it says if you set fire to bedrock, you have a % chance of getting some Grains of Infinity. The other way you can do it is to put fire water in the overworld only on that, and it will automatically start producing Grains of Infinity in a very slow way. But we need to get a bunch all at once, so we're going to go and do it the burning bedrock way. So let's go down to bedrock. We'll get our tools ready. And I'll just do like a little kind of detour around the side. We'll dig down to, because we're pretty close. Yeah, let's dig down here. Let's pretend this is the way we want to go. Makes sense. Um, we'll take some of this stuff because we've been finding emeralds all over the place. It's kind of nuts. So we're going to do the same kind of, let's dig down to, we want to get down to the bottom Y level. Unfortunately, we found a little bit of a thing there. So let me continue digging down, and once we get down to bedrock, I will resume. Okay, so we finally made it down to bedrock, so we're just going to clear out a little area here, and lo and behold, some more diamonds. This is pretty awesome. But I want to get a nice area out here that we can harvest some grains of infinity with, so let me just clear out this area just a little bit. This should be enough to get us started. We'll put a couple torches up, and let's see how this is done. So I'm going to get my flint and steel and simply just right click on each of these. Doing so, we're going to hear popcorn noises very soon. I'm going to cut myself off, so I got to be careful here. Let's do a little more over here, and essentially just let it burn. And wait for that wonderful popping sound that says, "You have grains of infinity." So here we go. We're going through here, putting a few. Haven't heard any yet. And it's essentially just a waiting game at this point. Not a single one. This is really odd. I'm really hoping it's not just in the overworld, because this should have created a few grains of infinity right now. Well, I broke my flint and steel. That's not good. And so far, no grains of infinity. That is curious. Okay. So what we're going to do, like I said, this is our Let's Learn series. We're all learning something. Perhaps it's not available in the mining dimension. That's the only thing I can think of. So what we're going to do, let me run back to my base really quickly, and I'm going to start digging down to Y level 0 on the overworld and see if that works better, and I'll probably collect a few diamonds before I get there. So we'll see you back in the regular world. Okay, so we are now down in kind of hitting the lower levels of the overworld, and you know what's kind of funny? When I go up and look at the recipe, had I taken a closer look at this on this one and this fire thing, notice the big words here that says overworld only. Good job. I'm the expert. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. So I set fire to some bedrock. I did get 1 grains of infinity. I had to use up a bunch of my steel, so we're going to do a few more of these. That's not what we want. We want you. And we're going to hope that we get at least a few more, because I tried it twice and only 1 grain popped out, so we're hoping this does a little bit more, and hopefully we'll be able to hear that sound effect as it goes. The tension is building. There it goes. Okay, so you can hear that. You hear the popping sound. You got a little bit more going on. Beautiful. Good. We got 4. That's pretty good. I want to get a good few of them, anyways. Got a few more lit up here. Get those ones down. Yeah. So let me go. So this is basically all you do to get started in Ender IO is just set fire to bedrock in the overworld only, apparently. So let me do. I'm going to get about 16 of these, or until my flint and steel runs out, and then we'll meet you upstairs, and it's time for the big move. Okay, see you soon. So after using the flint and steel, ended up with 19 grains of infinity. That's a pretty good start. And now I can get ready to start moving. So what I've done in the meantime between episodes, I started organizing my crates. In this one is essentially unprocessed ores and ingots. In here I have dusts and gems kind of stuff, so we'll put that in there. Got a few more diamonds for our mining world when we went down, so we'll keep that. One for wood and building materials, another for kind of plants mob drops and miscellaneous crap. And then the super miscellaneous stuff is in this one. Lots of kind of tech stuff that we've built that doesn't really have any other home to live right now. So we want these to travel with us. And to do that, if I were to break one of these chests, its contents would spill all over the floor, just like a regular Minecraft chest. So we have up here a storage crate keeper, and that's what we want to build. We're going to be using black quartz. This is an actually additions piece, and it uses black quartz, iron, and planks. So I cooked up a few from what we have for the 5 that we need for here. So we'll put that in. We need the iron, and we're going to need just a few more planks, so let's craft a few of these. Put those in, and we should have 5 created. Perfect. Okay, so for each of these, it is the one thing to keep in mind, this is a one-use only item. So I'm going to put all of them in here first, and once you pick up the crate keeper goes away. That's a very important. So this is a one, I like it. It's a well-balanced mod, I think. So you get to move it once, and then it's kind of stuck there. But once is plenty. So let's get some of our items up here, just so we can get them in the order. I want to keep them in the order that it was in. We'll take some of this and put it back into our dev null. That should be good. So the 5 should probably go there, or maybe along the bottom. Just in case it's not going to, we'll cover those up. 1, perfect. 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. So we got that. I'm not sure what else we're going to bring over yet. We might bring our tinker stuff with us. We have, of course, the drying basin and the squeezer, which we created. I'm going to look and see what we need, but initially what we want to do this episode is just get our ore doubling up and running again. So that's kind of our primary concern, getting a little area. So let me look at the time. Oh, we got a sleeping bag. It doesn't matter. So like I said, when you look on the journey map, I'm going to be heading over to this area, and I'm going to start here. There's a really neat lava pool here that I think this might be a good place for a forge to any of our ore processing and power generation. Just seems like a really nice thing to do here. So that's kind of what we're going to do there. I'm thinking maybe my house over here. I want an area also for portals. For all the different dimensions, I want to be able to have like one building that has access to those. That's kind of the general stuff that we're going for. Obviously, we're going to need our farms, etc., etc., but that's what we're going to get started with. So let's start moving that. We'll say goodbye to our farm for now. It's been nice knowing you. And I'm going to start heading this way, and we'll see you again once we get to our new base. So here we are arriving at our new little home. And this is the lava pool that I showed on the map that I thought was really cool. And I think we can build a forge around this. I think that looked really good. So this is kind of an initial area. We're just going to set up camp outside. We do have a bed. Everything's going to be fine that way. But you can see there's a lot of neat stuff around here that we can do. Like we said, you can see off in the distance an astral sorcery thing there. And then what sold it to me when I was going around was the view I got from up here. And I want to show you what I was looking at. And something that we're going to have to do a fun build with at some point. When you look over, we see some neat holes in the ground. I think a house somewhere around here is going to be nice. We see our little slime island up in the air. We're going to have some fun with that. But this area is really cool. It's just a little, there's a little hole in the middle of it when I was checking it out. It looks like a really cool place to build. Fun trees. I can see some stuff where this is the blue tree we're going to be interested in the future. But a lot of good stuff over here. It just looks great too. It has a nice big body of water, which I like. And then I think it was over on this side that had the ravine. So we can take a quick look at that. Yeah, so there's the ravine going down there. And so we have access to a lot of cool stuff around here. Anyways, so this is where I'm going to set up camp. And this is where we're going to start our build. We have a lot of fun projects planned for this. I'm looking forward to episodes in the future where we can do some building. But for now, because I want to stay a little close to the forge, I don't want to build too far away from it. This looks like a good enough spot. I'm going to put down my crates here. And hopefully that retained the same order. Ingots, dusts, wood. Perfect. Okay, so in addition, I think we definitely want to put a crafting station, maybe our furnace up. I would like another bed. Well, you know what? We have our sleeping bag. That's going to be good enough. Let's put this here and a furnace just for now on top of it, just so we have some stuff. And we have a flaming zombie coming for us. Buddy, what are you doing here? Thank you for your brain. I appreciate that. But why did we have a flaming zombie running after us? I'm going to guess there's probably an area that I haven't seen that's probably a little bit dark. So that we don't get surprised by this again, we're going adventuring down a hole for a little bit just to see what's down here. Super exciting. We have a skeleton. We'll come down and explore that a little bit later, but let's just light up this part of it right now so that we don't have another little surprise. Perfect. Okay. Let me get settled up. I want to settle in a few things, and then we'll get started building some of our machines that we're going to use to double our ores. Luckily, we kept a few so that we can practice. But let me get settled in, and we're going to get started with that right away. Okay, nobody move. We have a little Enderman here that's decided to say hello to us. Hello, Mr. Enderman. Why don't you just kind of get in cozy? We're going to build a little Enderman trap for you. Nothing's going on here that no one's not seen before. You are 3 blocks tall. I am only 2. And, oh, there you are. Buddy. There you go. I know you hate it when you do that. Well, it's like a cheaty way, but, yeah, why not? And the beauty part is we can just disassemble this really quickly with our hammer. Love it. Awesome. Starting it tonight, we're going to need to watch that. So, anyways, I thought that was interesting. I wonder what Enderman's doing here. We got another Ender Pearl, which is excellent. I must have killed one already. And so we're going to start with our simple Stirling generator. This is our generator piece. We're going to need, once again, like I said, we're going to need our simple machine chassis. That's 1 grains of infinity, 4 iron, and 4 iron bars. So as it's getting a little bit dark out, let's go ahead and use our sleeping bag. It is night, isn't it? It's almost night. There we go. Oh, and you can see we got an achievement: collect the infinite for getting our little grains of infinity. Okay, so what a cute little camp we have going on here, right? So let's start that up. I believe we put our grains in here. We're going to need some iron, a lot of iron ingots. I checked to see if I thought we had created some iron bars, but I think we used that in decorations, so we're definitely going to need more of those. We only need the 16, which is really good, because that's all we need. So let's do a few more in each one. Perfect. And that should get our simple machine chassis. Now to go along with that, so let's start with our first one. It's going to be the simple Stirling generator, as I said. So we're going to need stone bricks, a furnace, a piston, and some infinity bimetal gear. Infinity bimetal gear, you say? Well, luckily it's not that bad. It's a grains of infinity with some iron and iron nuggets around. So it's not horrible. So that's going to need 2 of those. How many more are going to need? Simple sag mill, only needs stone gear. That's nice. The alloy smelter, stone gear. Simple powered furnace, stone gear. Okay, so this is the only one that needs the really bad one. So let's get a couple pieces of you. And then I think that should be, if we go here, here, and pop it in. We only need 2 of those, which is really good. Dump that down. In addition, so we're going to need our stone bricks. I think I still have some stone. We're going to need the piston, which means we need some redstone. Let's go ahead and make one of those. I think we almost have everything. All we need is another furnace and some stone bricks. So if I go into here, I do have some, but we'll make a little bit more. All we need is 4. And 1 furnace coming right up. Perfect. And we can make our simple Stirling generator. This is awesome. So I'm just going to set this over on the side over here. Harness the heat. And we'll pop this down. And as we look into it, we can see on our tooltip it's idle with no power. So when we look into it, it's generating nothing right now. and it's going to need some form of fuel. So I'm going to grab some of the coal that we've collected, and I'm going to put one piece in here for now. And as we put in there, it's generating 3 IU a tick. This is an odd one. But we can see this is currently in here, but it may run out. I can't recall. But this is what we're going to use to power our other machines. So let's grab the first one, which we want to be our sag mill. So we want the sag mill, iron, stone gears, what are some easy ways to do this? Sticks and stones. This one looks good. A wooden gear with cobble around it, which is just sticks. That's where we're going to go. So let's create, I think we're going to need a few of those, so I'm just going to create a bunch right now. And from here, to make it a stone gear, just put a little cross of cobble around it. Like I said, I think we're going to need at least one more of these. So we got our stone gear. Now we need iron, a simple machine chassis, which we do have, and we need flint. Now I'm hoping in this... Okay, we got the gravel recipe for flint, which is really good. So let's go ahead and grab ourselves some gravel. We'll pop this over and get ourselves some flint. I hope this counts as flint for this one. We're just missing another piston. That will be easy to create. Boom. And so now we have our sag mill. Perfect. Okay, so let's put this beside this. And now it's drawing energy from here into this one. We can see there's not a ton in here. It has a little bit of leakage power, so it's slowly going down. So if we put a couple pieces of coal in here, that should keep it going. And now, here's how the ore doubling works. We're going to grab a couple pieces of iron, plop it in here, and we can see it takes its time. It's progressing through. It's a little slow right now. Once we get to higher tiers, we're going to be able to speed this up a bunch. And right here, boom, we got iron. Now, one of the byproducts that you could get is nickel also. And where you see that, let's kind of demonstrate that one, because this is an important point also when trying to figure out what you can make. If I go into the use for iron ore and I look at my sag mill, which should be somewhere along the top here. There we are. Sorry, we want the sag mill, not the alloy smelter. Perfect. We can see that when you have an iron ore, it creates pulverized iron, a 5% chance to create tin, a 10% chance to create nickel, and sometimes you get cobblestone. And you can also, once you get up to the better tier sag mill, you can put grinding stones in here, which increases your output. So you notice those 2 pieces of iron ore that we put in created 4 pieces of pulverized iron and 1 piece of nickel. That's pretty awesome. Now the other thing you can do is configure input-output. So when you go to configure input-output, it shows you that machine and the different sides. And if you click on a side, or right-click, you can determine whether it's going to pull. So you notice if you put something on top, like an inventory, it's going to pull and put in the blue space. It could also push from here and push up to put some stuff over, and you can have stuff even go out the side. So this is like a really cheap. You can also have something push-pull. So for example, if I go and grab one of these chests that I have and pop this on top, you're going to notice that those get, because we coordinated as push-pull, it's going to put it up in the top. And because these can't be grinded, it's not going to be pulled down again. But if I go back and pull in, let's say, a few more iron, we're going to see that those are going to get pulled from the top. That's going to get milled down. It's going to get milled down into its components. We're seeing we're running out of energy already. And that's going to get pulled back up. So this is not an efficient furnace, and you can see we're going to go through a ton of coal trying to get this working. But that's what we want to do right now. So now that we have that running, we can take our various ores. Take osmium, lead, nickel, and silver. We're just going to dump these in here, and as soon as it's done, it pulled in the iron ore. It's going to start automatically pulling those in, which is pretty awesome. So now I don't need to do anything. This little compact machine here with a power source and a machine and a way to configure your inventories is now just working. That's awesome. So now we want to use this. Now what we could do, for example, we could take one of the iron and pop it into a furnace and we'll make iron ore. But since we're using energy, we might as well have something to... We might as well create something to use that energy. So let's go for the third thing that we're creating, and that is the simple powered furnace. So this one, once again, it uses stone gear. It's going to use a bucket, which I think we have in our inventory. And we're just missing the furnace and a couple more stone bricks, which I saw 2 in here. And one more furnace. I think I'm out of cobble. Luckily, I got plenty in here. So we're going to put our furnace in. Is that enough for our simple powered furnace? It is. We got it. So let's put this on the other side. And that's going to start draining the power. So now, once we put the iron into here, we can see now this is going to start taking power. From here, we're down to 24, and it's going to start smelting those things for us. It's progressing a little slow, and I think it took 3 at a time to do it. I think. We'll check in a second. Almost done. Beautiful. So it did 3 at a time, which is pretty awesome, and it's going to start on the next one. But once again, these 2 things are pulling a ton of power, so we're hoping that we can use a lot of coal. Pretty awesome. Now, the last thing that we should be looking at when I look through here, so I created my sag mill, the Stirling generator we created, a powered furnace, and I do want the alloy smelter. So this is going to allow us to mix some of those things together to make Invar ingots, etc., etc. Not necessarily needed for where we are right now, but I want to have it just in case. So let's go ahead and make this. We have most of the materials. It looks like we need 2 more furnaces. Let's grab a couple of those. And with the alloy smelter, we're just missing 1 more bucket. Oh, and it used the bucket. I'm going to make 2 buckets. So I like having a bucket with me. Alloy smelter, pop in there, boom. And we can put this. So now all of these are touching the Stirling generator and now drawing power from it, which is awesome. This is what we want. And remember what we said, we can configure the sides to decide what inputs, what outputs, and that's true for any of these machines. So if I want to pull now from the side, I can click on this side and have it pull or push to that inventory. Now you're thinking, well, that's kind of silly because you need 1 generator and you have 3 things. You only have 2 more spots for stuff and then you'll hide it. Well, this is where piping comes in. We're going to take a look at piping soon to transfer energy around our base. But for now, this is kind of a nice, simple way to get all this stuff done, which is pretty awesome. It's getting late, so let's hit the sleeping bag. And speaking of late, I think the episode is quickly coming to an end. So this is where I wanted to start. I wanted to have our first machine up and running, which we did. So to recap, we have our generator taking coal. We're going to have to get a bigger supply of coal, either by doing a lot more mining, perhaps even building a tree farm. That's going to, so because you can use charcoal here. So if you have a lot of wood, burn that down, you can make charcoal. We have our sag mill, which is crushing our ore into various dusts, which we have here. Those dusts, which we can cook into ingots. And we also, if we need it, we have an alloy smelter for coming up. So the iron we can now put into here. We got a lot of stuff. It's coming along pretty good. I really like how this is coming along. I like the new area that we're building. I think next episode we're either going to start doing a little bit of magic, or I'm going to start creating the power room, the furnace room that I want here, just so we can start moving some of this inside. I need to be able there's so much to do right now, but we got lots of time, which is awesome. So anyways, that's about it for me. Hope you enjoyed the episode. We had power, we got power, we moved into our new base, and we started an Ender IO. That's it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.